to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. Imagine if I got upset at the dumbest shit in the world, like the plastic piece for shoelaces, so you could put it through a hole on my nice winter boots. Somehow, those things got crushed on one of the boots, and it bothers me. It bothers me enough every time to look at it. It bothers me enough to where I want to get different laces, you know? And then I wish it bothered me enough that this is like something I have to deal with right now. To do it, I wish it bothered me. I wish it bothered me to be this way. Because it bothers me afterwards, And it's an allegory for hell, in my opinion. That's why I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just trying to remind you why I don't do certain things, especially in a public setting, usually. Like, I don't want to deal with that. You have one new follower. But no, I don't, because this is private. Sometimes it's the time of the day where you feel more, The nighttime, people are sleeping.
The bar for what these... The... Work a lot better if you get that damn phone out of your hand. That's for your fucking advice, Grandpa. That's your fucking bedtime anyway. Oh, wait. What's that right there? You think that's our guy? How do you want to play it? You want to get local police here? No, let's just have hopefully wrong guy. Everything all right? Yeah. Except I'm trying to avoid something. Someone's going around here banging his cell phone. Fucking lights machine down there. I don't know what it is with you guys in your generation. You guys. Jesus. You dudes guys live life or something outside the goddamn phone. What the fuck you doing? Look, I thought this was my room. Yeah, it's not. Wake the fuck up, asshole. Fuck you, bro. What do you say to me? Fuck you. What? The bar for what these pigs can get away with is getting lower and lower and lower. Here's the receipt, bro. Read it.
He bought a pizza at self-checkout, skipped the bag and to avoid waste, and had just passed the officer when they first interacted.
He said, "Got your receipt?" I said, "Yes."
He then saw the officer approaching in the reflection of the glass door.
I shook my head no and said, "You don't have the right to detain me. I didn't break any laws."
The officer pushed him against the wall, so he said, "I have the receipt. It's in my pocket."
As I was pulling it out of my pocket, he's like, "Stop reaching your pockets like I had a weapon."
David said he was angry at first, pushing to get up. He eventually put his hands under his head instead of
Jeez,
behind
he's
his back.
kneeling on his fucking shoulder to...
Slammed into the ground. The second officer said this. I'm going to break your nose. Do it now. Then he got a knee on his neck.
He bought a pizza on camera. This is all recorded. This is why I argue with people about it. With this First Amendment type stuff, it's like, oh yeah, I'm in a private supermarket, but the First Amendment, I'm still allowed. You could tell me I'm not allowed to all day, and I'll still do it because your policy doesn't supersede my First Amendment right to record. Is anybody committing a crime in here? Are you a bunch of criminals? So why do you care if I'm recording? The camera's literally pointed at myself if I'm recording something. I'm not going around showing everybody the merchandise, showing everybody the layout. I'm literally pointing a camera at myself. Literally, just pointing a camera at myself. That's the only thing I say about it is these people are fucking skells.
We're officially validating you. It means you'll do the rest of your new life term here in the shoe. Unless you want to play ball.
I have nothing to play.
Come on, Harlan. You don't owe these people
Save
anything.
this speech. We're done here. What happens when they put you on death row with auto lowlights for murder and shotgun? Because when it happens, it will. Whatever offer, me and my
See?
guys are willing to make.
Something slamming up there. There's always some type of sound. There's always some sound I'm listening to. But it seems like I'm not allowed.
Not even 50 years removed from slavery as black people, and said we want to go and look up Greek mythology in 1906 and 1913. Oh, you trying to come against black culture? Since when are white
What's up?
deities black culture anyway? Who told you this was black culture?
Nobody
Oh,
told me
because
that.
our founders, they couldn't be a part of the Freemasons, and they couldn't, you ain't had no business being in it anyway.
Yep.
You ain't had no business messing with that in the first place.
I say that about a lot of things.
Yes, Sister Roberta, I clarified that already. Thank you.
Because that's what I said about the people that like rainbows coming to the St. Patrick's Day parade. When it's like, okay, they don't want you there, so why do you want to be there in the first place? You know what I mean? Type of shit like that. I always said that. My friend told me that too. Get in where you fit in. See, I fit in with you even if I stick out like a sore thumb. Because I agree with you. You know? I like Malcolm X. You know, I like Martin Luther King. I don't think they should be shooting. I think we have a similar ancestry here in America. Similar stories, even if we got here differently. Even if I've been here. Ancestrally, you know, my bloodline. Even if my bloodline is, say, from England, you know, the American settlers that came here, that called themselves not English anymore, right? That's why it is derogatory when the Amish people call us English. And I was not getting bent out of shape, but I was trying to teach the dude about Irish, you know? I was like, oh, maybe that's the Irish in me. And the kid looked at me like, you don't know nothing. They shelter those people, the Amish kids. Yeah, they're growing them up with value and moral and work ethic, but it's like looking at a doorknob when you talk to them compared to other Americans. But they call us the English because we're speaking English, and I get it. The language you speak, you know? That's why it's a joke when I say tu non italiano, tu non parli italiano, right? That's what they say. In Italy, right? If you're not born here, you don't speak Italian, how are you Italian? Right? But then the Italian Americans that are here, it's their culture and identity, right? Because I agree, I have it in me too. But I know history. I always knew that I was part eggplant. You know, I always knew I was part of a different tribe. Maybe that's why I got offended by the word, or felt like I could even say it without any friction. It's not like I look black and identify with black, but I know my history. You're saying it as a term of endearment, so why can't I? I guess it depends on who you're standing around. See, I wouldn't go around some random black dude saying this word, making jokes about it and shit. With my friend, if he's not going to get offended by it, why wouldn't I just say a joke that contains that word, or sing the song that contains that lyric? When somebody wants you to say that because they want to get into a fight with you, you got to discern from the two. You know, because not everybody wants to hear you saying that, right? Somebody said it to me nicely one day. They were like, picture this. If we came up to you and saying the word Guinea or Mick or whatever racial slur, like, would you enjoy it? You know, I'm not saying that's the way he thought. He was trying to explain it to me in a way that maybe I could understand it, you know? You suck. You should just quit YouTube. Don't listen to him. Hi, can you please be nice? I don't really care what they say. Quit YouTube, bro. I've been on YouTube since it first got started with my own accounts so I could leave comments and stuff like that. I wasn't even obsessed with reading comment sections and live chats until it became a live streaming thing where you could form communities, bro. This is the same thing that happened on my Instagram. They want to argue in the comments about every fucking post. And I'm like, yo, this is not for that. This page is not for you to argue on my, you know, they would be arguing. Anything you post, it's like you can't take information, you know what I mean? You can't take what somebody is saying. You gotta just come and attack them, ad hominem attacks all the time. Take it right off you know, whatever the conversation could be. Do you do that in a conversation at a party? When somebody's talking to somebody else, do you go, hey, this guy sucks? Like, just joking around. I'm just joking, bro. See, that's the thing. They're not just joking. When they have anonymity, when they have an anonymousness about them, they love to just talk this shit. I'll say it to your face in real life because I don't usually talk shit. I'm usually trying to pay compliments and be nice, you know? Funny thing is, you catch me when I'm angry is because you got me that way. Can I blame you? The way you blame me for everything. I don't sit there blaming cops. I don't sit there blaming immigrants. I don't sit there blaming foreigners of other nations that's supposed to be your ally. I don't sit there blaming them, even if they're to blame. You know what I do? I blame myself for not seeing through it earlier. I thank God for the discernment to help me look through certain things. Like, he's the one putting it in my face, bro. He's the one putting things in everybody's face every day. It's on you if you want to look for it. You know, the creator of all things. You don't think he's watching you right now? Be a little piece of shit for no reason? Hey, when demons come to visit these people, you shouldn't even, you know, they always mad apologetic later on. See, I'm apologetic right off the bat, even if I really didn't do much wrong. You're saying that I bothered you or harmed something in some type of way. So show me the right way to do it. I'm sorry for doing it, not show me the right way. You just end communication from one mistake. See, that's what these narcissists try to act like you're doing when you go no contact. Oh, for no reason at all. They just don't want to talk to me. They're just hiding my comments for no reason at all. Right? That's the reason why, right there. Like, these people have to go, bro. You know what I mean? These types of people have to go. They have to make a 50th account. You know, I try to be nice about it and let them talk. When you say dumb shit, it has nothing to do with anything. You have to go. This page is not for that. It's for fishing and venting and reflection when you feel alone. For me, personally, that's what this is about. I live with people and I still feel alone. I've always felt like I'm alone. I've always felt like I have to deal with my shit alone. Even if you're helping me pay for something. You're not getting me through it. You're not helping me survive. You're just doing something for me in a moment, acting like I should praise you forever, even though you're talking shit. You're doing something that's against me, acting like it's supposed to be good for me. Are you pulling me away from people I shouldn't talk to? No, then what's the purpose of it then? You know what I mean? What's the purpose of talking of the shit like that? Is what I don't understand. They pull you away from what you're trying to talk about in your mind. And then they just succeeded. It pisses me off enough to start yelling. Does it grip? Like, bro, you're a little pieces of shit. I don't care how old you are. Somebody's gonna snuff the shit out of you one day. Let it be an AI robot. You know what I mean? You're lucky it's not me that wants to do that to you. I'll say it to your face. Like, you're lucky I'm not your age, bro. You're lucky I'm not like you that wants to do things for a bad reason. A miscreant. People who like to do something poorly. They like to act poorly. That's what a miscreant is. It's not somebody that makes a mistake, tries to correct it, you know, alters their behavior for future reference. You know, these are not miscreants. Miscreants are somebody that knows they're doing something wrong. They want to go doing it wrong more. They want to do more of the wrong thing. That's what a miscreant is. You say no, 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 and they do it more. You know what I mean? That's why I say you gotta go, bro. It's not about want you to die, hate you, see you in the afterlife. Like, bro, when I say I see you in the afterlife, I'm expecting to go to heaven. Like, I hope to see you in the afterlife, bro. I try to live life where I know I'll be with Christ. Not just because I said his name 3 times like fucking Candyman, okay? You need to change your attitude. It's always something like that from these people, and they are the original censorship robots. Yes, that's what they are. Censorship robots. Telling you to relax. Telling you what to wear. They tell you what to wear, but let somebody walk around in front of your face rocking nothing but underwear with the balls hanging out the bottom of them. When you're like, bro, that makes me feel uncomfortable. Can you stop? Yeah, whatever you say. You know, it's always something else. Like, it's you'll defend that, but you're telling me what to wear. You understand? You're criticizing what everybody else has to wear in public, but even when it's in private, if somebody can I come up rocking my underwear in front of your face with my nuts hanging out, even if it's a shared apartment, if you don't want to see that in your face in the moment, wouldn't it be proper for me to put on pants or a shirt or something? Like, I'm here by myself. I was sleeping without a blanket on in boxer shorts. So there's nobody's getting a free show here, for lack of a better term. Nobody's getting mooned. You know, this guy never would let me forget. Remember that time you mooned me? And I'd go, yeah, bro, it's because you tried to break down my door when I'm getting changed to leave after you kicking me out. You want me to go, but you blocking my way from leaving. You blocking my entrance. You're a terrorist. They're terrorists. What do you want me to say about it? Like, who is this? Like, I'm sorry that you're... I blocked somebody by accident. See, that's what happens in this fucking place. Now I'm blocking people that aren't to blame. You know, I'm blocking people that don't need to get blocked. Because people like that want to come fuck with you while you're trying to say something out loud. They like to interrupt you for some reason. God forbid if they're saying something and you interrupt them. Or if they're listening to somebody that they don't want to get interrupted. God forbid, bro. They like to interrupt and be the one that gets the attention. And I'm like, listen, you need to stop all the time. It's very frustrating to have to ignore those types of people, because if I used to be that way when I was young, that's why I was, you know, I'm learning it from somewhere, bro. Hello? I'm learning it from somewhere. I didn't just lick it up off the street. That's what they like to say in a joking way. Fucking miscreants, bro. Like, they laugh when it's something they find funny, but when it's the same thing that I find funny, now it's just they don't find it funny, so now it's a problem. Even though it's the same exact thing. It's nothing different. There's nothing different. We're laughing at the same exact instant. It's the same moment in time, the same behavior, the same thing we're laughing at, the same instant, the same incident. But now it just bothers you to bring up because you feel badly about it. It used to make you laugh. What's the matter? You don't find it funny anymore? What happened? You're not just joking anymore? Because I say, my bad. My bad. It shouldn't even bother me that I'm blocking somebody that, like, who cares? Who cares? If they really want to leave a comment, don't make another account. It's not like I'm changing lives over here, bro. I'd rather give the glory to God. Because that's who's keeping me from getting angry right now, enough to yell. Because I have that pain right now where I'm fucking angry and it's like I want to beat something up. From that. From something stupid. Hey, what do you know? I have it in me also. I try to go on a fast. I try to do all the stuff you do. But then I just pig out. And then I don't like the way my body looks. But then I have body dysmorphia. It's not like I'm morbidly obese. I just have a gut. It's not good, you know? I don't like it. I don't need you to tell me, you know what I mean? The point I'm trying to make. I don't need you to tell me. There's certain things that are just hard to change based on habits. You know, you pick up bad habits, you pick up the wrong way to do it, and then you've been getting by doing it the wrong way this whole time. And nobody told you. That's why you always think you're correct. I know. I'm taking out my energy on somebody who acts like that. You know? Like the person in the chat. Because they won't apologize for the collateral damage. If it's anybody who looks that way is gonna get yelled at now. That's how they are. They're not like, oh, I know. You don't. They're the person you have to say. Not all this is like that. Not all blank are like that. That's the person you should say that to, not me. I don't need to be told that stuff. The only way you could find me being racist is if it's every single person or sexist, right? If it's every single girl I ever met. Or every single person that don't look like me that acts this way, if they're stealing from me, right? If I'm the only one in the area, of course you're gonna get a little prejudiced. If they're the only ones in the area and bad things happen everywhere, you're gonna focus on the negative because it starts to control the narrative. You know, it starts to sink in like, oh yeah, that's why. You expect me just to jump in, you know? You expect me just to go along with it like it's back in the day. Like, no, I'm not stupid though, bro. But I'm not one of these people you could just keep manipulating forever. Come back around me whenever the fuck you want like that. It pisses me off to think you really did assume you could just do whatever the fuck you want and it's all good with me. Hey, that's how I know Jesus probably ain't gonna rock with that either. You know, that frame of mind. Like, oh yeah, I could just do whatever I want the whole time knowing him and then just leave all this behavior. Like, you know, I could act in any way I want because Jesus is my savior. And I believe in God and I'm a good person and I got married in a church and I go every Sunday and you know what I'm saying? That's what they do. When I'm telling you you should go to church too, I'm telling myself I should go to church. Even though I don't really need to. You don't need to go to church to be a believer. To be saved. You don't have to go every Sunday. It's just nice. It's just good. I like it going. I like to go. I just don't like going out of my way. You know, I don't want to spend all this money on gas every day just to have you pull money out of my pocket for the pulpit. And then what? You want all this bullshit to occur. They were wanting a TV screen while they're chopping down nice trees, in my opinion. They were chopping them down. They weren't just trimming them. Oh, you don't want somebody to have to work. I know. You don't want to have to pay somebody to do something that you don't know how to do. I know. Because you cheap-ass motherfuckers. You like to chintz out on shit. You don't really care about not having to pay a tax. You just don't want to have to pay it because you're cheap. It's not about, I can't misguide my sheep. I can't mislead my flock. I want to tell them the truth. But you're still asking for guap. You're not doing all the things it says. Like, if you want to call out this branch or that branch, and you're still doing something not good in the eyes of God, neither one of you are. None of you are. Neither am I. That's why I try to forgive and be forgiving to people. Because they make mistakes, bro. Some people just make a mistake and they're not doing it on purpose. Some people go there out of their way to do shit on purpose to you, and those are the motherfuckers I'm talking to. Well, they know it bothers you, and they keep doing it more. They know you're self-conscious. They would be self-conscious about it, and then they talk about it in front of people and all this type of shit. When I'm an open book, you could talk about the size of my wee-wee, the weight of my belly, the fatness of, you know, the size of my t-shirt, whatever you want to talk about. You know why? You did anyway. Everybody else already knows because you did anyway. You understand that part about me? Yeah. How there was, it's not even a smear campaign necessarily. It's just embarrassing. And then I can't even mention your name. I don't mention your name. I don't mention anybody's name. When I remember that time on the train, or that time on the ferry, or wherever the fuck you met me. Nah, they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that side to me. Where it's like, bro, I like to joke around and have a fun time. But it doesn't mean I won't console you. It doesn't mean I'm going to make light of a situation when you don't feel like laughing. Sometimes you want to just cry, and not everything's a joke. I get it. My bad, bro. I never had somebody to cry to. That's what it is. That's why I just laugh at it. Because all y'all are going to try to make me cry more if I show you that it's bothering me. So if I laugh at the shit you're trying to do, now you just feel like an idiot. If I just block you and not pay attention to you, now you feel like a moron. Because all you're trying to do is get somebody's attention. And then that's the one thing they're not paying to you, right? So now you feel like an idiot. Or you're trying to get somebody angry and they don't really get angry at it. Now you're going to be the angry one because energy doesn't die. You know, energy only transfers. It's like taxation, right? You work all day in the fucking field like a slave for them to take your money. It's an energy transfer. I've been knowing that since before I had a job. I've been against their system since I still had to be inside of it, listening to the bells ringing. Like, bro, this is Rockefeller propaganda. I was looking it up on the encyclopedia before Google was telling me what to think. You understand that shit? Like, nah, I guess they weren't trying to just copy my answers on the test, even though I had 65s all the way through, you know? Just passing, because my attendance. Because I think this is stupid shit. I'm not good at taking tests, but I'm good at retaining information and remembering what you're saying to me. And I remember you doing this variable shit in mathematics every fucking year since I'm in 8th grade, and it felt like a waste of time. Basically, it always felt like a waste of time to me, and I had to stay extra for that very thing. And the dude felt bad for me because I was in a fucking sophomore class as a 19-year-old dude with a bunch of 15, 16-year-olds. And I was like, bro, I only need 2 credits. Can you just let me chill? Can you just, please? Like, please, bro. I don't take SATs. I'm going to be a fucking laborer. Like, please. Give me a 65 or something. Like, I was begging him. I was like, please, bro. You see what this girl's wearing? I'm going to get in trouble just sitting here. He would be looking at me like, word, bro, because I'm already a dude. I had tattoos on my arm in high school, okay? This is what I'm trying to tell you. These little fucking idiots that like to come here talking shit, they never really had to be about anything. In my opinion. My era is like, they tried to make it like we're so soft and sensitive, but now everybody's just so offended by everything that even the most nicest thing you could say offends you. Like, I'm like, what's the matter? None of your fucking business, right? It's like, let me go be angry. Okay, my bad, bro. And then you get angry at that. I'm not expecting you to react in this way. So now I'm like surprised. And now you get more angry at them that I'm surprised. You know, you get angry at their reaction when I'm asking you what happened. God forbid you ask one of these people what happened. What happened, bro? It's not like the person bullied you and beat you up and it was like, what happened? To keep your mouth shut, right? I'm literally asking you, what happened? Were you crying? Who hurt you over here? You all right? Like, for real, I'm not one of these people going, are you okay? Who hurt you? Like, to antagonize you, to make it worse when you're clearly in some type of pain or discomfort. I've never been that type of person. This is why I get upset when people do that shit to me. 'Cause I don't do it to you. Wait, maybe I did do it to somebody and I don't remember. Or maybe I did be that way without knowing it. Who knows? I just thank God anyway, bro. Like, this is not going to bother me. You're not going to hurt my feelings in any way if this is what the shit I've been dealing with. This is the thing I've been dealing with from society. You ever get rocks thrown at you from your friends, quote unquote? They're clearly too old for me to be around, even though they're just 5 years older than me. Like, they were all wanting to get drunk, and I was young, wanting to be like them, do the things they did, right? So I was already, by the time I was in high school, I was already very experienced with drinking. They used to use my bike to go to the deli to get it. That's the way I got a beer. Quid pro quo. This for that. Oh, you need my bike to go get it? Get me a Zima and a 40 ounce. Right? I was already knowing this. I was already knowing about things like that. This is how the world works, right? I was already knowing it before I was in high school. So that's why I'm that way, bro. That's why I'm already like an old soul to a lot of people. But then you act like I'm immature because I didn't let the world change up on me. I didn't let it change me up. Just because the world changed. You know, I didn't let it bother me. The way you tried to bother me about the mask and the 6 feet distance and whatever it could be. This fucking lady was morbidly obese talking about, I don't want your germs. When all I had is a pint of Talenti ice cream. And I'm like, bro, you're going to let me. There's one person on the register. You're going to sit here bitching to me about a mask instead of opening up another register to get the line moving faster. Like, bro, this lady had store-brand eggs, all bleached eggshells, right? All nasty food. She's morbidly obese. I felt like saying, all this shit in your shopping cart's going to get you sick quicker than my fucking breath. What are you kidding me? You're nuts. You're crazy. You let that shit go. You forgot about it already. You act like they're not going to try to do that shit again in some type of way. Hey, more power to you, bro. Good thing I get sleep. You know what I mean? Good thing I get sleep is what I say. Because that's how I can wake up and talk about this. It takes a lot of energy to think about it sometimes. It takes more energy than I'd like for it to require. You know, it definitely takes more energy than I want it to. It takes way more energy for me to explain it to you the way I feel than to just not have to say anything about it at all. If everybody already knew, like, okay, those are a bunch of fucking assholes over there. You wouldn't even have to say anything about it. You'd already be self-aware, everything. You know, you'd already be self-aware, bro. Anything but self-aggrandizing. Don't work with yourself, please. Oh, so your hard work. Believe me, I know, buddy. I know, believe me. I remember. You know, I remember people like that. I had to live around people like that. I still do. I still have to live around people like that, you know? I could be way more organized, in my opinion. The point I'm trying to make is I'm not really trying to sit here telling you anything. Not what I want to do. And I don't want to sit here sounding like I don't give a fuck about anything. You know? Because I do care, bro. I do care. I don't care about a lot, but there's plenty I care about you, bro. I don't want to see you getting hurt. I try to tell you the truth, man. Like, I feel badly about that, and it wasn't even mine. You know, I feel badly about being a witness to that. What's wrong with you? That's what I feel badly about, bro. Something you don't want to admit. Like, oh, I feel bad for you to have to think about that all the time. You know, I feel bad for you to have to think about that all the time, is what I said. Breaks. Isn't that corny, bro? But I think about it in that way. Like, for you, I feel bad for you. I feel bad that you have to be that way, and just like it makes me feel like I have to be cold-hearted. Great. This is what I mean about life. Nothing works the way it's supposed to work. But then you want me to. You want me to, bro. God forbid I say, me too. Hey lady, me too. But you make fun. You make fun, bro. People love to make fun. And it's like, whoa, didn't that happen to you too? You little bitch. You want to make fun about some shit that you've been through, as far as I'm concerned. And I figure out a way to close it anyway. You know, oh wow, it got ripped. Big whoop. You know how many times I got ripped off in life, bro? For time I got wasted, love that it didn't make a difference whether I felt it or gave it away. It's like, that's why you keep coming back to me, because it's real love from me. But you don't want it to be, in my opinion. You wish it wasn't me a lot of the times, and I could agree. Why would you like me, is what I said. Why the fuck would you even like me? Oh yeah, that's right, because I'm nice to you. The thing is, that's the way the world wants you to be, right? Just endlessly being nice to you for no fucking reason. Like when I deserve to throw you a beating. You know, I deserve to throw you a beating. Not that you deserve to catch one. I deserve to throw you one. And I don't, because I'm an adult and I'll get in trouble for doing that type of shit. You know? I know, you think I'm younger than what I am all the time, because I don't act like these fucking assholes. I know. Call it being immature. I say it's not being a fucking slave, dog. You know, I'm a slave to many things. I'm a slave to whatever sin that I crave. I'm a slave to this coffee cup right now. Even though it's a normal thing for me to do. People usually wake up and drink coffee, right? But they don't usually wake up at 2 in the morning. 1:30 in the morning. That's what the usually is, you know? See, I'm thinking, can I blame it on me leaving the microwave plugged in? What the fuck happened, bro? I was sleeping fine. Sleep schedule always getting messed up from something. I'm not even allowed to blame anything. Imagine, so let's say the rave in the fucking town was like dum 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 all night, and somebody's complaining about it. Do I get to say you should blame yourself? Oh, it's the light you kept on. It's not the rave music blasting until 4 in the morning, right? Stupid. Real dumb, you know? If you ask me, it's real dumb. I have to blame myself even when it's somebody else's fault. Like, that's conditioning, bro. That's you trying to condition me right there. To just blame myself for everything. It's always my fault. That's narcissism grooming you to be a certain type of way now, isn't it? Isn't that the case? Or it's like a narcissistic race of people where they just don't care how you feel. Could be all night long. You could be starving from a meal. They'll tell you, I taught you not to be hungry. You know, they'll be like, I taught you not to be hungry. Told you not to be hungry. I told you not to be hungry. See, all these thoughts keep coming back to me. Like, oh yeah, you're only getting at me when I'm live streaming. Like when I'm able to show you a demon. They want to stay hidden. That's what it is, bro. In my opinion. Now we're on the ceiling appreciation stream. Look, it's another world. A whole new world. Would I get mad about? Well, it's not the coffee I wanted, because I have 3 bags in there, and I was looking for a different one. But then I forgot that I put it in the cabinet, because it's good until like the end of 2027. Why wouldn't I keep that one fresh? They're like, oh, you want to avoid moldy cockroaches in your coffee? Then grind your own beans. But what? Not everybody has a grinder, bro. That's why people go to the coffee shop, you know? Not everybody has it. See, I've been trying to put them onto that life, you know, that way of thinking, trying to make them understand. Because I'm like, why do I understand that if you have you have this attitude, like it's all good, it's all paid for already. You know, Christ got me, I could sin, he got me anyway. It's because the way you were raised, bro. I don't sit there thinking that. I don't sit there thinking I'm all good all the time. I'm like, bro, anything can happen at any moment, is what I say. I remember 9/11 was a nice day. 9/11, 2001, it was a nice day. Crispy September air, you know, it was nice. You think they're just trying to get you scared, or did they succeed? Like, they actually got me scared, bro. I was a little kid. They're shutting the city down? What? Like, they never do that. Nothing in or out. Lock it down, right? I was a little kid for that, bro. When you're making fun of that to me, see, like, if you hear my New York accent and you try to make fun of that to me, you're trying to make fun of a little 13-year-old kid. The way I feel, because that's what I think of when I think of that day. Being a little 13-year-old kid, barely getting out of 8th grade. Just about to get out of 8th grade, you know? I mean, just entering 8th grade. September is the beginning of the school year, right? Because you're off in June, July, right? You have a 2-month break, basically. You have summer off. It's not that much time off when you think about it. They make such a big deal that you're off all summer. Like, you need to have a job or do projects and book reports. It's like, bro, can I live? Can I play video games in the summer? This is the only time I'm going to have to get that. Is what you want to say. But no, I want to work hard so I can play hard too. That's what I was always about. And you want to make it like I'm trying to mooch. You want to make it like I'm trying to just be taking advantage of something. Like, yeah, bro. I try to take advantage of time while I have it. I've always been knowing that. That's intuitive knowledge. Nobody had to teach me that. You know what taught me that? Death. Death taught me to take advantage of the time while I have it. Because it could change tomorrow. You might not be here tomorrow, bro. Shit might change tomorrow. It might not be the way you want it to be. You're going to sit there crying about it, or you're going to turn the channel on the TV. You're going to change it, or you're going to sit there bitching about the entertainment. Or why don't you go make a song instead of bitching about them being Satanists? You know, because then you could start bitching how you ain't making it. Because you're not taking that oath, right? You're not joining their cults, right? You're not doing blood sacrifices on anybody, right? That's why you don't make it. You're not related to anybody in the music industry, right? That's why you don't make it. See, that's the thing. I could claim that too, even if it's not a successful artist. It's like that's running in my veins, bro, to want to make music and do farming. That's something all humans should want to do, is sing songs and grow food. And then you try to say I'm a dumb rube, I'm a bozo and a bum for wanting to do that. And I think you're a fucking scumbag for coming on here talking shit like that. I think your mother raised a little fucking asshole, is what I say. When people are that way. Hey, you successfully subverted my whole train of thought. Because what I was trying to say is not what I ended up saying, you know? I ended up saying some dumb shit that I'll never, ever get to... You know, I ended up saying some shit that I'll never want to... Like, it would be no purpose to put it public because it's so stupid that to see how people could get me this way. Off a dumb, stupid comment. Like, bro, you take me away from my task. And then I have to spend 30 minutes explaining it to your ass. You know? Oh, why are you mad? Why are you mad? Because you take my attention away for some dumb shit when I'm doing this. Now I gotta pay attention to this and let that go by the wayside. Even though I could have made a profit or I could have not wasted my time. I could have done something, anything. Everything would have been better than wasting my time paying attention to some dumb shit. Anything I could have been saying more than just paying attention to some dumb fucking comment, right? That's the point I'm trying to make. Anything is better than just sitting there stewing about it. Like, bro, you think if I didn't let it go a long time ago, I would look just like you. You get it? That's the real anti-age right there. It's like no fake makeup, no hair product. Bro, I never did this type of shit to myself. That's why I don't look like them. They're obsessed with it, right? They're obsessed with looking young. They're obsessed with being rich. They're obsessed with being strong, right? They're obsessed with it. Like how I used to be obsessed with being good at rapping and rhyming. I would sit there all night practicing the words I wrote. Hey, it's better than getting in trouble, bro. And then when that would start to make the motherfucker yell, I would just play video games all night, trapped in hell. Basically, like you'd rather have me playing a fucking screen than doing a skill or a pastime that will make my mind more sharp. Make my speech patterns more eloquent. I should just put people on timeout because I feel bad for blocking that person. Hi, right? But they're doing that, in my opinion. They're using that as one of those tropes to, like, you know, cause the they want psychosis to occur. Like, why are you sending me this? Like, why are you sending me this? Am I allowed to get mad that you're sending me this? Like, for what? For what? Where are all those pictures you said you're going to put up? Every time. To threaten me. Like, I'm defending myself. What do you want from me? I'm trying to help you. You criticize me. Everything I do. I'm trying to do something for you. And then you act like it's never good enough. And then that's why nobody wants to do anything for you. Because it's always done the wrong way when you want it done some type of way. Well, why don't you do it yourself? Hello? Like, you're complaining about the TV shows and the radio. Why don't you go make a song? Why don't you go write a movie script? Like, what do you want me to do? Well, you're complaining about the Bible and all the mythology. Why don't you come up with your own fucking religion then? Go see if somebody will follow you. You complain about the shit I'm saying on YouTube, go change the fucking channel then, bro. Is this complaining? Or is it just saying what I'm saying? Like, I'm saying what I'm saying. I'm thankful for all the things I've been through, even if it's annoying to go through. Because it makes you who you are. You know? You want to call me all these names that are opposite of my character, but you're not going to assassinate my character, because I'll tell anybody I questioned that about myself. I've questioned plenty of things about myself, bro. Self-worth, self-value, self-loathing. Like, you'd rather have people in a low vibrational mindset, like, you know, fighting or some shit like that, is how it feels. Like, you're all happy. You like to see that shit, you know? People love to see it. You know what I don't want to see? Somebody get hit in the face, cracking their head on the curb, and then they pass away. Because even if it's not gory and super violent with the head getting ripped off, you still witness somebody lose their life right there. And you'll never forget it. Say you see somebody survive some shit that would kill anybody, especially at the age they're at, and then they decide to go kill themselves with drugs because of self-loathing. Well, and then you see the pit. This is why I don't go on that old page all the time, because I see mutuals and all this shit, and I don't want to be reminded. It makes me sad, bro. A lot of my era died young, like way young. They were still mad young. I could name a bunch of kids that are acquaintances and close friends that they're forever young in my mind. And everybody will remember them in 2009. You know? You ain't gonna remember me from back then because I'm alive today. Shit, you let them, I'd say let them pass away. Don't keep holding them here. I try not to hold all these people here, bro. And think about them every day and how it makes me so sad that they died. You know, I'm trying not to be that way. Because it's like you making it about yourself. I felt bad for wallowing and weeping and like I didn't want to go. That's why I said, I'm sorry, bro. Like, I didn't even want to go because I knew I was going to get like that. You get it yet? Like, that person was a real good friend to me, in my opinion. Better friend than you were. She at least let me chill with her. Like, not thinking I'm just trying to hook up with her because she's pretty. Even if she falls asleep next to me. It's not like I'm trying to touch on her titties and shit without permission. Think about this person all the time. Like, what do we treat existence like? Nothing? There's no point to it. That's why you just go die, right? You wonder why I feel that way. You wonder why I call myself that. It's not just an attack or a defense, you know? Because defending myself is an attack, in a sense, right? To show the simple fact that I know how to act, but I can still fuck you up is like, you know, that's me being mature, in my opinion. Because I'm not trying to go make you see the Lord. I'm not trying to change your mind about religion and politics. I don't give a fuck what your politics are. I don't really care what your religion is, bro. I don't think God does either. You're concerned with it so much because you're a fucking idiot. And you don't want to displease God, really. Once you have this realization that there's definitely a God that created everything, and he's the one that lets people be evil if they choose to be, like, what are you gonna take it out on God that people choose to go be evil? That's what I used to do. I used to blame God for having death here. You understand? Like, no point to be feeling that way. Nobody is telling you this. This is the resentment I have towards this society. It's like you want to act like it's all about sobriety and it's all about God. Where were you? Where was this word in the Bible would have comforted me when you're telling me get over it? Where were you, bro? Why should I follow your fake religion when you ain't even telling me go in the Bible? Bullshit ass Christians, right? You ain't even telling me. That's why I respect my friends more than some family, because they were telling me it's in the book, bro. You should go read it. And I'll always pray for that person too, even if they were a little miscreant around me. Like, they weren't as bad as other people with the boundaries getting broken. Like I always said, this is a good person. They're just misguided. Try to tell you not to fall for Jezebel too, bro. Like, you should learn from me as well. The iron is supposed to sharpen the iron, bro. I've been saved the whole time, back in the day when y'all were making fun of me. Why do you think a lot of that bad shit happened to y'all, bro? I was praying for you not to go down that way. And you go down that way anyway. That's proof to me that God has a purpose either way, no matter what I want to say about it. I can't prevent you from going a way that you want to go, even if I know it's going to bother you later on. Like smoking, for example. How are you going to tell me not to smoke if they sell it to me everywhere? You know smoking's bad for you, right? All right, go cry to the fucking government and have a lobby to ban cigarettes then. You know porno's bad for you, right? Okay, so go form a fucking militia and say this is not protected by the First Amendment anymore. If you really feel that type of way, if you really feel strongly about it. That's why you have to go all the way to CA to do that shit, right? Because there's certain laws that prohibit you doing it. What's the difference of a whore and a porn star? Is like, one is the camera rolling, right? They're both doing it for money. And what's the difference of the guy and the girl in the movie? What's the difference? They're all doing it for money. They're not really doing it because they love each other, right? That's why it's a weapon against the men to make us dilute ourselves with this fake version of love. Because you want to be a skell. And all the rappers are promoting it to be this way. All the fucking celebrities got this weird hookup culture on top of it too. And you want to go worship them for some reason. Like, yeah, he really had to go get locked down for a quarter century because he was selling ice to just figure out that he really loves Christ and wants to have a taco truck or a cheesesteak truck. You know, like, those guys are so awesome. Let's make fun of all the dudes who always known and didn't have to get caught up in the same way. But if I get caught up doing something I like to do, I guess it's because that's what God has planned for me, right? That's what I'm trying to say, bro. You worship these people all day. You blame them for everything, the way society is, but you're the one worshiping them. You're the one making them a false idol. The same thing all those people did to Christ. They made him the king of the Jews by mocking him about it. You don't know that shit yet? You made me grim. You made me like death by telling me get over it. You made me say it must be a freeing experience. You don't have to sit here in debt worrying about shit. No more emotions. All that pain is gone. Why would I want to roll around on a wheelchair having people help me that don't really want to be around me because they're just getting paid to do it or some shit like that? That was my gripe with going to therapy also. Like, bro, I'm paying somebody to listen to me when you should care. You should care how I feel. Don't you see the problem in and of itself is that you're telling people go get help, that they're asking you for help, though? See, I don't tell you go get help. I tell you read the Bible, bro. That's what I tell you. That shit helped me a lot. To not want to sit there in this system, like, just okay with everything. That's wrong. Just okay with it. Yeah, it's just fine. It's just fine that they're rearranging my community in some type of demographic. Oh, it's just normal, bro. You're a fucking racist if you say something about this. Yeah, what about what they do to the other races? They're doing the same thing. They were the ones warning me about the same thing gonna happen to my race one day. And look, what a surprise. They were all correct about the same thing happening to my race one day. That's why I used to respect what they have to say, and I still do to this day. It's just that when they want to go off about DNA and who's first and who's better and who's worse, that's when I start to lose focus. Like, bro, we're all hopeless in this world. We all need Christ. I don't need I don't need AA, NA meetings late at night to come tell me that shit. All I need is a mic and a cup of coffee and a beer. That's all I need, bro. As long as I don't keep partaking in the beer, I'll be fine. You know, don't worry. Don't worry, my dear. You'll be okay. You know, you'll be alright. It's something they don't want to say. I know. It's impolite. It's so impolite. I'm the one saying it though, right? Oh yeah, I like to have a little weight on me so I don't have to dress up crazy in the winter. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. That was so shitty, bro. That winter, I got fired around Thanksgiving, bro. Right around the holidays. It's not like I have a lot to live for, bro. I don't share meals like that all the time. Kind of grimy the way I've been living, in my opinion. I don't feel like I deserved all that. I've been taking on other people's negativity, for real. Watching them mock the positivity God gave them. Like, bro, you're lucky you even have what you have. If you know what I know, the way you joke about it to me, like, I have to unfollow. You know what I mean? The way you joke about it, it's just, and I can't. It's a bitter pill to swallow for me. I just can't. I can't tolerate that, you know? Like, I've always been going through this. That's why it's funny. You are going to put somebody else through the same thing you went through, and that's not really funny to me. I didn't do that to anybody. I left everybody alone. Now, didn't I? When it felt like I was bitching and moaning and crying and complaining, didn't I just leave you the fuck alone after that? Because you don't want to hear what I'm having to say ever. But I gotta hear you fucking complain about how your mommy died or some shit like that. Even though you used to complain about her every day. Imagine me being very sad that my father passed away. Like every day if I used it as an excuse to be mad or upset. Even though he pissed me off every day he's alive. And I'm like, what a piece of shit this guy is. He takes life for granted. And look how much time he has. Look how much time God gave him. Takes it for granted still. Like, what a moron. That's what I think about him, though. I'm just assuming, because I've seen him have plenty of opportunities to make these changes and just go down the same drainage system of like, I'm gonna just eat what I want. It don't matter if it gets me sick. See, I had leftovers before, bro. I had one hot dog and leftovers, one jumbo-sized hot dog and leftovers. One jumbo frankfurter and hot wings, and that's it. With some French fries that weren't even that good. Fried them up in bacon fat. You know how many times I was complaining about this and this and this and this? It's like, how many times do I have to say it to you without you just saying I'm complaining for no reason? It's like, yeah, the pain is here, bro. This pain that I have all the time, you wouldn't know how to deal with it, is what I'm trying to say. Every day. Like, you wouldn't know how to deal with it. Because I don't know how to deal with that pain, because it's even worse. So if I'm looking at this like I need work done, I couldn't even imagine letting it get that bad. That's what I say about it. It's not to be shaming you if you're real fat and obese. I'm just looking at you and thinking to myself, how does it get that far? Because I'm looking at myself like I need to lose some weight, and I'm not nearly as fat as that. Like, how does it get that fucking far, bro? How do you let it get like that? You just sit there every day eating what you want. You never move around. Well, why am I fat? Why am I fat? It must be the ingredients' fault. It's the food company's fault that they're packing these tasty products with so many calories. Fucking stupid, bro. Like, go drink a coffee. Have a sugar-free sweetener, bro. Go drink a coffee. Use raw milk instead of this fake shit you want to buy. You know, it's good to have that in reserves, but god damn, son. So you got some nerve to blame all this shit. It's like, oh, it was different back in the day. Yeah, so stop eating it. That's what I do. I usually stop eating this shit once I realize it's that bad for me. Or I just have it once in a while. Pillsbury Doughboy Grands biscuits. Like, bro, that's genetically modified bullshit. That's why it tastes so good, but it gets you fat and lazy. I've been saying this for a while. This is the stuff that made them call me crazy to begin with, and then they go saying it. That's where the resentment is, bro. Oh wait, you're gonna wait till another 30 years later to start talking about the chemicals they spray in the air, and that's why it's like 70 degrees in New York after you have a fucking blizzard. Like what? Like you're stupid, bro. Like you're real dumb. I think to think that's normal. It's real dumb and stupid to think that's a normal thing that's occurring. Like, bro, I've never seen that in my life. Never. 50 degrees after a blizzard? Like, what? That's unheard of. After a huge blizzard like that. I don't know. I try not to make a big deal out of it because it's the weather, bro. I can't control that. I have to deal with it. What am I going to do? Just not shovel it? See, they complain about the treatment afterwards. That's why. Nobody likes y'all. It's because you vote for Trump and shit like that. Majority of the whole, think about it. I've been saying that a long time, bro. They don't like these areas. They take it out. They take it out on areas and they use weather as a weapon. I'm telling you now, bro. I've been saying this shit for like a decade. At least. It's not just chemicals in the air. It's not just poison. It is poisonous. It is a chemical, right? But it's for a reason. They're using weather as a weapon. It's weather manipulation. Chemical ice nucleation. You understand? It's not just fucking crazy for me to say it. When there's legislation, there's legislative things preventing it in certain states from occurring. I'm not saying that they listen, but it should be proof that I'm not just bitching about nothing. Crazy conspiracy theorist. Like, you watch Leave It to Beaver all day. You watch game shows, and you watch old westerns, and you watch pharmaceutical commercials, and you watch all this TV shit all day. That's why I don't listen to what you say. Like, I really don't want to conversate with half those people that just watch it all day, every day, always on the screen. The way they feel about young people with the phones is how I feel about them. They're always on the phone. I've been saying it all the time, making fun of them. Wait, this is the narrative in society that young people are hypnotized by the phone, but you're always on it when I'm trying to talk to you. You rather look at the phone. You rather watch the TV, everything else. It's not the phone or the TV that's the problem necessarily. It's your attitude, and you just use it as a distraction when you're mad about something. Like, holy shit, bro. Like, you need to go relax. You think I need to relax. I think you need to stop watching TV. How are you going to tell me to relax if I catch a fish almost every time I go fishing? Like, you need to relax, bro. How you going to tell me to have patience when I could grow out my beard and shit like that? You need to go chill out. You need to go sit in the corner with a dunce cap. You're a fucking bozo. You never had a real job, really. You had God giving you this shit, but it was from Satan anyway, now wasn't it? Because he lets you fuck around and find out. Until you ain't even got heartbeat left. Until you gotta have pharmaceutical pills for breakfast. Before any type of food. Now that's hell, bro. To me, that is hell on earth. And I never want to have to live like that. Not one day do I want to have to live like that. Not with tubes coming out of my mouth. Do not resuscitate, for real. I don't want to have to deal with that. You got me twisted, bro. You think I want to live like a vegetable or die on my knees or some shit like that? You got me wrong. You got me wrong, bro. Just because I play it safe and I'm cautious and defensive, I'm not overly aggressive or passive aggressive. You know what I am? Defensive when you want to get too close. You want to play this shit on me like I'm some type of punk, and I'm not doing nothing wrong to you. I'm not stealing nothing from you, really, bro. Even if I've done something in the past, you act like you forgive it, but then keep bringing it up. And then get mad if I keep bringing up the past, too. See, you know what I bring up? If you're doing the same shit as the past. You know, you're doing the same thing in a different way. It's the same thing as back in the day, is what I say. You've been doing this to me since I know you. Not gonna happen forever, bro. Not gonna sit here talking about it either. I'd rather go out catch a fish. Like, fuck you, bitch. Get out of here. Like, you don't do shit with your time. You didn't sit there learning yet. Like, you didn't even take the time to learn a trade or anything. What did you do? Learn how to figure out which is your favorite cigarette? And then never change it up. Always smoke the same shit over and over again. See, I do the same thing, but it's good. It's American spirit in a raw paper. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, really. I've been doing this for a while. Because I could clip it, it's not even as bad as you want to say, you know? Yeah, there's no filter, right? What's the difference if I put a tip on it? There's no filter. What's the difference of a filter and a no filter? What's the difference? There's still smoke going in your lungs, right? Hey, at least I don't need an ashtray. I could be outside, throwing it on the floor. This shit's gonna biodegrade. It's a hemp paper with organic tobacco, bro. Where's the litter? Where's the litter? If I stomp it out, it's gonna blow away. And it's gonna. Where is it? You gonna give me a ticket? It's not like I dumped out my ashtray, bro. It's not like I flicked it while it was lit either. That's why nobody says shit to me, because I do that. I'm like a hippie when it comes to things like that. That's why you think I'm a hippie, because I do shit like that. I care about the soap I use a little bit. I care about the conditioner a little bit. But then I'll go eat a glizzy and then be like, hey, at least it's kosher. Hey, at least it's vegan, bro. At least it's organic or some shit like that. And you call me manic because I have to explain it for myself, because you have a narrative about me, and I have to tilt your head to make you look at. It's not like I want you to look at me in the wrong way. I'm not trying to make myself look good, is what I'm trying to say. You just look at me in the wrong way, and you either think real highly of me or real poorly of me, in my opinion. You just gotta love me or hate me, and I don't want either one. I want you to follow JC, bro. You ever think I say that stuff to keep people away from me sometimes? Like, go to Jesus. Get away from me. Like, you don't need to be around me, right? You could go around God and have the same feeling that you think you feel from me, and that's what I had to do. And then what happened, bro? Women got offended by it because I took them. I used to put them on the pedestal where God should have been, you know? Definitely. It's like, it's simp energy, bro. It's not good to have. I'm glad I learned that before I was 23. Like, oh, that's what they think they could take advantage of me for. They think I'm stupid for that because I'm not aware of the nature of them yet. I'm not aware that they're treating all these dudes like shit and then doing the same thing to me, like crying about it, like wanting sympathy, like, oh, I need your help, oh, right? Like, get the fuck out of here already. Like, I've been to church. Don't tell me. I know God answers my prayers, bro. I know it's more healthy of a relationship with God if I'm in the church building, whether I'm part of the congregation or just sitting in the back nodding my head and you think I'm worshiping Satan or some shit like that. Like, good, you'll be the judge of it. You'll be condemning yourself at the end, not me. I'm not gonna be sitting there pointing my finger at you. I'm not gonna be sitting there accusing you of anything, the way you try to accuse me, because if I start to judge you, then it's okay for you to judge me. You see? But when you start to open up that shit on me, and then all I do is say, hey, at least I'm not cheating on women, murdering babies, killing innocent life, shedding innocent blood. At least I'm not doing any of that, right? God forbid you think it's about you when I start saying that. Because you try to call me a maniac, and then I try to remind you what a maniac actually is. You know? Maniacs go kill kids. You know what I'm saying? Maniacs shed innocent blood. Maniacs think it's okay to do whatever they want every day and then just be saved on Sunday. Now that's a maniac.